Today we're taking a thorough look at McAfee, the well-known cybersecurity company that is looking to go public through the traditional IPO process. We'll go over the background, the financials, and the anticipated trading date. And as a little bonus, I'll give you some background and an update on Bridgetown Holdings, the SPAC backed by Peter Thiel. So stay tuned. Welcome to Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, the channel that has evolved to talk about all the big and not so big companies going public, whether it's by traditional IPO, a SPAC, or direct listing. As always, I want to thank everyone in the community for your interest in the channel and interacting with me in the comments. And for those of you new here, my name is Kevin, and I want to welcome you to the channel for the first time. If you end up enjoying this video, we'd love to have you join our community. It's totally free, you just got to press that little red subscribe button. And when you do, we'll help to keep each other updated on the latest IPO information. For today, we're going to focus on McAfee's IPO by me giving you some information that will hopefully help you decide if buying into the company makes sense. And I'll also share some information from the latest SEC filing from Bridgetown Holdings, a SPAC backed by well-known billionaire Peter Thiel. As we get ready to jump into it, please remember I'm not a financial advisor, and while my videos are meant to be informative, they should not be seen as a recommendation for you to take any action on the companies covered. You should always do your own research or consult with your own financial advisor when making any investment decision. So what can I tell you about McAfee? Well, the company has been around for a long time, and I'm sure for anyone that has a computer going back to the late 80s and 90s, you know that McAfee had one of the most well-known antivirus products on the market. At over 30 years, the company has had a long and winding road to get to this point. The company was founded in 1987 and named after its founder, John McAfee. McAfee himself left the company in 1994 and was involved in many other tech companies over the years. While I won't go into depth on this here since he is no longer with the company, I will say that he is quite the character and has had many clashes with the law. He even has attempted to run for president the last two elections, once for the newly formed Cyber Party in 2016, and then placing third in the primary for the Libertarian Party in 2020. But he's also had some interesting takes on the company he founded. For one example, when Intel bought McAfee in 2010, they kept the McAfee name until 2014, when at that time they announced that McAfee-related products would be marketed as Intel Security. McAfee was then quoted as saying, "I am now everlastingly grateful to Intel for freeing me from this terrible association with the worst software on the planet." Yikes. He also has previously uploaded a colorful video titled "How to Uninstall McAfee Antivirus" onto his YouTube channel in 2013 that has garnered over 10 million views. Let me just say it's something. But back to the company. After Intel bought them in 2010, about 6 years later they decided to spin off the company in a joint venture with TPG Capital that brought back the McAfee name. So that's just a little background of a company that's been around for over 30 years and went through quite a few itinerations. But let's move on and take a look at their current products and customers. The company focuses both on the consumer and enterprise market. On the consumer side, with their flagship product, McAfee Total Protection, the company's service provides protection for an individual or family at home or on the go, as well as when on the internet. The platform includes device security, privacy and safe Wi-Fi, online protection, and identity protection, and can be applied to multiple devices. With a single interface, consumers obtain immediate protection whether on a computer, smartphone, or tablet, and across multiple operating systems. According to their filing, the consumer-focused products protected over 600 million devices as of June 27, 2020. Their consumer go-to-market strategy consists of a digitally led approach to reach the consumer at crucial moments in their purchase. They have long-standing exclusive partnerships with many of the leading PC manufacturers and continue to expand their presence with mobile and internet service providers as the demand for mobile security protection increases. Through many of these relationships, their consumer security software is pre-installed on devices on a trial basis that is then often converted to a paid subscription. Over the 30 years of existence, their model has evolved from installing licensed software to become a subscription service, much like Microsoft has done with Windows. For enterprises and governments, McAfee offers a comprehensive cybersecurity solution that protects customers against adversarial threats across cloud, on-premise, hybrid environments, and endpoint devices. They describe their cloud-native mVision platform as a solution that offers device-to-cloud protection with threat detection and data protection for devices, secure access service edge solutions for the multi-cloud, centralized policy orchestration, automated threat response, and threat insights generated by the predictive analytics engine. mVision Cloud is designed to secure employees working on enterprise cloud services such as Office 365, Salesforce, Box, and Slack. McAfee products protects many of the largest enterprises and governments around the world, including 78% of Fortune 500 companies as of June 27, 2020. McAfee reports that some of their largest customers are government entities who represent over 25% of their 250 largest enterprise customers and 45% of their top 250 enterprise customer annualized contract value with an average tenure of nearly 20 years. They primarily engage their enterprise and government customers with a direct sales force team, while mid-market customers generally conduct their business through McAfee's channel partners. They operate throughout the world with almost 47% of their fiscal 2019 net revenue coming from outside of the United States. That leads us into the financials. For fiscal year 2019, McAfee generated $2.64 billion in net revenue with a $236 million net loss. For the 26 weeks ending June 27, 2020, McAfee is reporting $1.4 billion in net revenue and a swing to profitability with $31 million in net income. As a comparison from the 26-week period a year earlier, ending June 29, 2019, the company had a net loss of $146 million. And as to adjusted EBITDA, the margin was 30.3% in fiscal 2019 and 36.2% in the 26 weeks ended June 27th of this year. One thing that I personally find interesting is how the numbers are divided between the consumer and enterprise business. As you can see on the screen, the revenue is essentially even between the two customer bases. However, when looking at either the operating income or the adjusted EBITDA, the consumer customer base contributes much more positively to the overall numbers than the enterprise customers do. Within the market, they do have their share of competition. On the consumer side, competitors include NortonLifeLock, Avast, Kaspersky, Trend Micro, Microsoft, ExpressVPN, and ProtonVPN. And then in the enterprise market, the competition includes Symantec, Microsoft, Trend Micro, SentinelOne, and CrowdStrike. And that's not the full list, so you definitely need to take into account the competition factor. As to the IPO itself, McAfee plans to raise $759 million by offering 37 million shares within a proposed pricing range of $19 to $22. At the midpoint of the proposed range, McAfee would command a fully diluted market value of $9.6 billion. The company intends to use the majority of the net proceeds of the deal to pay down some significant outstanding debt. And something else to be aware of, considering that McAfee is not the typical young, fast-growing startup looking to go public, the company does plan to offer a quarterly dividend, which would come in at an annual dividend yield of 1.7% at the midpoint of the price range. The company plans to list on the NASDAQ under the symbol MCFE. As you know, these things are fluid, but as of right now, it looks like the IPO will be priced next week on October 21st, and then begin trading on the next day, Thursday, October 22nd. I'll share any updates in next week's episode of IPO This Week. So what do you think? Is McAfee's IPO something you're interested in? Or not? Let us know in the comments. Now, as promised, I do want to give you an update on Bridgetown Holdings, the SPAC that is partially backed by Peter Thiel of PayPal, Facebook, and Palantir fame. And with Thiel's involvement, this has been a widely anticipated SPAC. But before we get into it, I'd like to ask you to please push the like button if you're enjoying videos like this. It helps me know that this is the kind of videos you want more of. Plus, it really helps the channel get more exposure on YouTube, and I'm really looking to continue to grow it with your help. Okay, back to Bridgetown. For those of you new to the company, the SPAC is just now getting ready to go public and therefore does not have a merger business identified, so you're basically looking at the leadership of the company and the industry they're targeting in order to determine if investing in the SPAC at this time makes sense for you. Obviously, Thiel's involvement has helped drive a lot of interest in this company. For a little background, this blank check company's goal is to pursue an acquisition or a business combination target in Southeast Asia with operations or prospective operations in the technology, financial services, or media sectors, which they refer to as the new economy sectors. They believe that Southeast Asia is entering a new era of economic growth, particularly in the new economy sectors, which they expect will result in attractive initial business combination opportunities for attractive risk-adjusted returns. As per their filing, the criteria for their target businesses include fundamentally sound companies with operations or prospects in the Southeast Asian new economy sectors. They're looking for a company with a strong management team with a proven track record of driving growth. And finally, they're looking for a market leader that is appropriately valued. Along with Peter Thiel's Thiel Capital, the SPAC is also backed by Richard Lee's Pacific Century Group. Like Thiel, Lee is a billionaire with a lot of success to his name. Much of his focus has been in the financial services, technology, media, and telecommunications industries throughout Asia, so his involvement in Bridgetown should be invaluable to the market they look to enter. When the initial filing came out to go public on September 23rd, the company initially planned to offer 50 million units priced at $10 in order to raise $500 million. However, in an amended filing dated October 13th, the company has now increased the size of their deal by 10% by now offering 55 million units at the same $10 price in order to raise $550 million. I don't have a confirmed date yet on when trading will begin, but I will definitely keep you updated. When trading is set to begin, the company will be listed on NASDAQ under the ticker symbol BTWN. Again, out of my own curiosity, I'd love to know how many of you are looking at buying into Bridgetown. Let me know in the comments. As always, I'll share any updates for this video in a community post or on the upcoming IPO This Week episode early next week, so definitely have your notification bell turned on. And if you're new to the channel, IPO This Week is our weekly featured program where we cover all the IPOs coming out each and every week. So again, if you like this information and enjoy watching videos on IPOs, I definitely hope you consider subscribing to the channel. We'd love to have you be a part of our growing community. And with that, let's wrap it here for now. Thank you for watching, and until next time, have a great day.